For millions of Americans, Social Security is a lifeline. Nearly 2/3 of all seniors depend on it for most of their income. It keeps 15 million people out of poverty. And for millions of people who suffer accidents, who get sick, Social Security disability insurance is there when they need it. We must protect Social Security. And that's why we're all here, is to protect Social Security.
If you meet the eligibility requirements, you could receive some financial support starting next month. An official fourth stimulus check plan has been proposed, and remember everybody, that the whole goal of this channel is to provide you with the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check news. I want to see every member of my community receive the much-needed stimulus payments. So Chuck Schumer is now urging lawmakers to make progress on annual government spending bills. On the Senate floor, Chuck Schumer said that he plans to sit down with Democratic lawmakers later this week to discuss the state of negotiations. That's done to pass a government bill within the next few weeks. So it would be really crazy if the government did shut down, and even if it was just a couple of weeks. Government shutdowns cause the disruption of government services and programs. It's even if lawmakers fail to pass an annual new government spending bill. The SSA, which is the Social Security Administration, has a contingency plan that would help the agency continue to operate, even in the event of a government shutdown. Lawmakers have until February 18th to reach an agreement on spending for fiscal year 2022, which could begin in October under the previous year's temporary continuing resolution passed last month. Under the previous year's spending levels, if Congress fails to pass a spending deal for fiscal year 2022 and instead opts for a continuing resolution, it will mark the third time that Congress had to resort to such measures since spending negotiations began last year. For homeowners who have fallen behind on the mortgages in the country, well, there is some support available to help you pay off things like property tax, insurance bills, and your mortgage. Specifically for anyone in California, there is a new California Mortgage Relief Program, which will offer support of up to $80,000 to deal with the areas that have been hit hardest. Sources told Newsweek that the crisis has left many California homeowners struggling to cover their mortgage costs. The program is designed to help low to moderate income Californians who have lost their jobs or experienced financial hardships due to the crisis and fallen behind on their payments to get caught up and start fresh. The California Mortgage Relief Program is funded by a $1 billion grant from the federal government, which put aside $10 billion from the past 2 years, and according to a spokesperson, Georgia's Department of Revenue has already processed over 1.1 million total refunds. It totals about $257 million. If you haven't received your money yet, don't even worry. The Department of Revenue said the funds will go out over the next 8 weeks for those who filed by April 18th. Those who filed after the tax deadline will of course wait a little bit longer, as refunds will not be issued until one's tax returns have been processed. A Wall Street Journal analysis of Federal Reserve data reveals a concerning financial situation for people ages 30 to 39. The demographic accumulated nearly $4 trillion in debt during the fourth quarter of 2022. It reflects a substantial $140 billion rise from preceding the quarter. Now, according to Yahoo News, the mounting debt is indicative of broader economic challenges faced by the generations. The New York's Fed data reveals that millennials in their 30s are accumulating debt at a very high pace, which is starting to be alarming. New data have shown that 72% of U.S. millennials are actually in deep trouble, living paycheck to paycheck. More than 1/3 of Americans say there's still loans that prevent them from buying a home, because we all know that this is not the right thing to do. I also want to make another point on this important stimulus information, that a significant portion of the 22 to 37-year-olds surveyed revealed a concerning trend of retirement savings. According to the survey, a considerable number of respondents said that their monthly contributions to retirement savings were low. Monthly checks may be sent out this year, and many lawmakers in the House have just learned about to propose a bill that will restore the improved and expanded monthly child tax credit payments. It would cost billions of dollars and would send Americans relief checks every month. It already has provided bipartisan support, and also a group of House representatives have just introduced the American Families Act, which will actually be a bill that would make the previously expanded and improved multi-child tax credit permanent. And during the crisis, the American Rescue Plan Act provided relief for American families through a series of payments and credit.
Top Senate Republican Mitch McConnell was confident yesterday that the country would not face a financial crisis.
In the end, I think the important thing to remember is that America must never default. on its debt. It never has and never will. But we'll end up in some kind of negotiation with the administration over what.
So both Democratic and Republican lawmakers, everybody, are negotiating on Americans receiving universal basic income payments. This is some good news. It has been announced up to $18,000 may be claimed by several people that are experiencing financial difficulties. So if you qualify for this extra stimulus check, be sure to watch this entire video because you definitely don't want to miss out on it. So the past 3 round stimulus checks have been given to people, and more Americans, and more.
I've not met a cop who likes a bad cop. There's bad in everything. There's lousy senators, there's lousy presidents, there's lousy doctors, there's lousy lawyers. No, I'm serious. But I don't know any police officer that feels good about the fact that there may be a lousy cop. I'm tired of not giving the kind of help they need. Folks, look.
Now, some of you guys may not automatically, some of you guys may not automatically get your 4th check. There are also huge changes to monthly benefits that may be coming next month. New delivery dates have been confirmed by state officials, and here is your daily update for your 4th stimulus check. A nationwide outage was reported with the SNAP program, leaving more than 1 million people without the ability to use their benefit transfer cards to make payments at retail stores. Agencies in Massachusetts and South Carolina reported on Sunday that customers are unable to make purchases with their electronic benefit transfer cards. The South Carolina Department of Social Services must checks under this new stimulus proposal. Millions of people could get millions of Americans could also get additional cash payments of $225 under a new proposal. That comes as red-hot inflation continues, and qualifying residents in Indiana may soon see the relief. Indiana's Republican governor is also proposing a plan to send $225 payments to people in the state amid the highest inflation since 1981 by tapping into the state's growing budget surplus. The governor said he will call for a special legislative session before the end of June, so lawmakers can consider and potentially act on a plan that will total $1 billion in budget surpluses. He said Indiana residents have real needs right now during this period of high inflation, from the gas pump to buying groceries, and everyone should benefit from the state's success. The $225 check comes after about 4.3 million of the state's taxpayers began receiving $125 payments last month under the same law. According to the governor's office, if it's approved, each Indiana resident who has filed 2021 taxes would be eligible to now receive a combined total of about $350 in payments. Married couples filing jointly would also receive about $700. The additional deposit will be made to the bank accounts of eligible residents in Indiana who have filed their tax returns. And that's the good news I want to hear from everybody. Now, skyrocketing gas prices is definitely a huge problem for the White House, and